Super Bowl champions, Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Playoffs and Phil.
What's up, guys? Dutchy clocking in here. As always, God bless. Go first.
Let the celebration begin.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Eagles postgame show with Jack and Dalt. Proudly powered by TickPick, the official fan experience partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, let's take it to the show.
A win is dang right, KJ McCoy. My guy knows, but what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Eagles postgame show. Dalton and Jack here, breaking down a Philadelphia Eagles win. Even though it's a preseason win, still a win. I don't know if I'm going to hand Jack a W tonight, and if maybe he'll try to eat it like Jackson Dart did last night. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there it is. See, we do have that same kind of chemistry. I'm just saying, there it is, like peanut butter and jelly, but point is, we got a great post-game show for you guys tonight. Hope everybody's having a great, safe, fun Friday night. I know I sure am, but we are going to break down a ton. And we also will have an opportunity for you guys to call into the show later. We got a phone number, a 302 number that you guys will be able to call, say what's up, some local people in the area, and hear from you guys. But kicking it right off, KJ McCoy said it, win's a win, but McCord has got a lot to work on. I think he hit the nail on the head. What was your initial takeaway from Kyle McCord's performance tonight, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, he had some good plays. He had some bad plays. It just, all in all, it wasn't the best showing of what his full potential is. It seems like he's going to be that starting or that quarterback 3, because we didn't see DTR play at all tonight. But he had some good plays. He had that pass to John Mechie in the first quarter, which was nice. But he just seems to get a little too jumpy after the snap. So he needs to work on that. And, I mean, in due time, you have Jalen Hurts and you have Tanner McKee, who are good leaders who can kind of show him the ropes. But, yeah, I think he needs to improve if he really sees himself being a starting quarterback.
Yeah, that's a fair point, man. I think he definitely has a lot of things to work on. I think the Eagles giving him a chance to play the whole game tonight, I thought was a smart move, because you don't want to put Hurts out there with the chance to get wrist. I know on the podcast I was saying that I thought that he would at least potentially play a series. I'm glad that he didn't play a series. I think that that's a wise move of the Eagles looking back on that. And on top of all that, probably wouldn't play McKee either, right? Same idea. Keep them out. Let these guys, protect them. Keep them safe. These guys are assets, especially the QBs. So I'm all for that. But overall, I think McCord was a good draft pick. They also call him the Mick Eagles. You had McNabb. You had McCord. There was also another Mick I think I saw in one of the graphics in pregame that went to Syracuse and then ended up playing for the Eagles. Don McPherson in 1988 as well. So the Mick Eagles is real for sure.
And you also had Josh McCown.
He went to Syracuse. I didn't know that.
So, I mean, he was a 40-year-old guy that played, I think it was a year or two after we went to the Super Bowl and won. Mm-hmm. And he was like 40 years old, and he was the biggest mistake. He couldn't really play well. But, yeah, I mean, Kyle McCord definitely has potential, but at the same time, I don't see him being a starting quarterback anytime soon. So he just, like I said, needs to improve a lot on his gameplay.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Where do you think the ceiling for McCord is on this team? Like, do you think that he could ever be a legit 2 if the Eagles ever wanted to move on from McKee, or could he ever give McKee a run for his money? Or is he still at the point where you just see him as a 3 and he'll always be a 3 in your mind? Like, what's his ceiling for you?
Right now, I haven't really seen much. We've seen him play 3 games in the preseason. Hasn't really done much for me to like make a decision on, okay, if we decide to move on from Tanner McKee, which we won't, do I see him at QB2? Right now, I don't see him doing anything like that anytime soon. He could be trade stock if someone needs a quarterback or something like that. I hope he's not like the Kenny Pickett, who like, is just a journeyman who just kind of plays everywhere. But yeah, I don't see anytime soon the Eagles moving on with Tanner McKee. He's such an asset to this team, and we see what he can do in the first preseason game, and we saw what we can do last year. So I just don't. I think he's going to be QB3 from here on out, which sucks because he played well in college. But yeah, I just maybe he'll get some kind of spark in him, but as of right now, I'm not seeing much out of him.
That makes a ton of sense. Yeah, I think you got a comment in here saying he's not going to make the team. How do you feel about this?
I mean,
I think he'll make the team.
I think he will.
He'll
be practice squad, or third string, but yeah, because DTR or whatever, the guy from the Browns, I don't think he's gonna do anything at all in the NFL. So yeah, I think he will make the team. Yeah, like you said, maybe practice squad, but I don't see him not making this team. We don't have any other quarterback to go to. So that's my opinion.
Those are good points. I agree with both of you. Moving along now to our next topic. I thought even though McCord had his struggles, overall, I do think that Marshall had a pretty good game. He was, I think, the leading receiver. He was for a majority of the game, if not. And he looked really sharp. LSU product. I loved him when he was an LSU Tiger. I enjoyed watching him. And now he's a Philadelphia Eagle. He's made his way around the NFL. He was drafted by the Panthers, kind of underutilized there. Raiders didn't know what to do with him. Can the Eagles be the team to finally know what to do with Terrance Marshall, or is this wide receiver room too crowded? In my opinion, I'll take it first really quick. I'm going to say, I think that Terrance Marshall will make this team, but same principle that you just said with McCord, practice squad. However, you got guys like Ainias Smith. You got guys like Mechie that they just traded capital for. So even though I think Marshall, honestly, you got A.J. Brown, you got Devontae Smith, and you got Jahan Dotson. After that, it's really up for grabs on who's that wide receiver for, especially now that Johnny Wilson's injured. I think that Terrance Marshall will make a case to be at minimum wide receiver 5. He's got the experience, but he's got the caliber. He's got the pedigree, as they say. Like, this dude was a really good wideout in college, and he had the tangibles on the Panthers. He was just underutilized because they didn't have a good enough QB. So in my opinion, I think that Marshall will end up being probably the wide receiver 5, if not wide receiver 6 on this team. And with his performance tonight, that only helped his case.
Yeah, I mean, he had 5 receptions for 51 yards. His longest was 17 yards, 7 targets. I don't know. I haven't really watched him enough in the preseason, but one receiver that I've watched, and Born Crocs, or how you pronounce his name, mentioned it. Cooper, Darius Cooper. I think he's gonna make this squad. I mean, I think definitely as of right now, this wide receiver room's crowded for sure. Yeah, we got. I think the receivers would be Brown, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, John Mechie. I think Jahan Dotson has kind of made a name for himself, especially this preseason and last postseason. I think we're going to see Ainias has definitely stepped up, and I think Darius Cooper is going to take that over Marshall Jr. because just to see his first preseason game, getting those touchdowns and getting those receptions, I think Darius Cooper has definitely made a name for himself, and I think we'll see him in this squad. So I don't think he'll make the team. I think he'll be a make practice squad. But yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Let us know in the comments what's your guys' opinion on it. We're excited to hear. But you brought it up in your text to me earlier. Montrell Johnson Jr., former Florida Gator. You know Howie Roseman loves that. This dude, he got trucked. There was a tackle on him where he got pretty much pile drived. Yeah. But then he got his revenge. What were your thoughts on his performance tonight?
I mean, dude played well today. I mean, he had 15 carries, 57 yards, and he was very shifty when we hand the ball off to him. And yeah, that truck he had on the goal line was amazing. I really think, like, I didn't really see much of him the past 2 preseason game. I was playing Madden with our buddy Josh, and we were watching the game at the same time. And yeah, dude, I like the kid a lot. I really do think he's made a name for himself, and he played very well tonight. And you know, I think I think he'll make practice squad, obviously, but I am confident in him that he will definitely, potentially be pulled up from practice squad. But yeah, he's a reliable guy. Yeah, he got pile driven into the ground, but the next play after that, he trucked the dude over. So I really do like this kid a lot, and I can't wait to see what he does this season.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying as well. Practice squad. I do think that he'll end up being a practice squad guy. Who do you got for defensive end? I really like this question right here because this is interesting. I can take it first if you want a second to think, or if you got somebody on the top of your mind.
No, go ahead.
So I'm going to say I think Uche will develop. Josh Uche, if I'm saying that right, I hope I am. I've been trying to say it right. But from the Patriots, the guy that they brought in, I think Vic Fangio likes him. I think he's got a good work ethic. I think he's got a good aptitude, sometimes they say, like he wants to learn. And he's got a good attitude as well. So I think that my pick is probably Josh Uche. I don't know about Olahari, that the guy that they got from the Giants. I've been hearing ups and downs about him, good things and bad things. Some people saying that even he may be cut by the time end of camp. I don't know if I believe that. But at the end of the day, I think probably Uche is going to be my pick for who I think will be the defensive end this year for the Eagles. How about you?
I would agree with that. He was a great player for the Patriots last year. And I think he has potential. We haven't fully seen it yet, but I really do like what he can do on the field. And he's a leader. And I think that you need that person on the D line to kind of know what he's doing and show up, show out. So I think Josh Uche definitely, in my opinion, is the guy that I'm looking at because I've watched some tapes on him when he played at the Patriots, and that dude is a force to be reckoned with. And I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see what he can do this year because I think he's placed in a great position on this defense. And I think, this guy will have a pretty good year this year for us if he makes the team, which I think he will.
Yeah, I think you're not wrong, man. I think you're not wrong. And you brought up a good point that he was a really good player for the Patriots. I actually want to give a quick shout out to our Salesian brother, I should say, Dante Vella. We really should text him to see how good this guy is. I was texting Dante. Want to give a big shout out to Balboa Steaks. Balboa Steaks has been amazing. Had it tonight for dinner with KJ McCoy. He loved it. He got to have it for the first time. But Dante texted me this week. He got to try Balboa's for the first time too. And he thought it was fantastic. But our good friend Dante is actually a Patriots fan. So I didn't even think of that. I should text him to get his opinion on this guy because he knows the Patriots really well. And that dude was all over the place last year.
He's a Patriots fan?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I did not know that.
You didn't know that? Oh, I thought you were being sarcastic. Yeah, he is a Patriots fan. Yep. So he's a Phillies fan, though, I believe, but he is a Patriots fan, too.
Did not know that. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So we got him with one side. The other side, we still got to work on him, but he's a pretty diehard Patriots fan, so it might be hard to shift him.
Yeah.
Him and Boston Mike, that my two favorite Patriots fans, I will say. But we got a solid look pregame from A.J. Brown. Somebody who's been rumored to have the hamstring injury, somebody who's been rumored to not be 100%, somebody who's been rumored to not be the player or the caliber that he can play at. Well, guess what, guys? Our guy, Johnny Airport, said it before the show. He looks really good pregame. He looked like himself. He looked 100%. And I think as a Philadelphia Eagles fan, that's everything you want to hear. Like, this guy is the recipe for the Eagles' success. He is the difference maker for the Eagles. He is the separator that really makes this team, that Super Bowl contender. When he plays at a high level, the team plays at a high level. They follow A.J. Brown's lead. So, good to see.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was getting a little worried about him because we're 2 weeks away from regular season, and to see him looking like he's ready to play, and we need him on the field. It is a hole in our offense when AJ Brown's not on the field, and we need that guy to be that voice in the locker room when we need it. We need motivation, and I think he's the motivator, and I think we'll have a good season with him, and I hope he stays healthy. I think he will. But yeah, AJ Brown, seeing him look makes me feel more confident about this team this year, especially, from the departures we had last season and the injuries we're dealing with right now. Seeing AJ Brown looking healthy is something that we're going to have to really, really dig in on and expect that like you said, he and I would say Jalen Hurts and Saquon, they are pretty much the heartbeat of the offense. They make a difference on the field when we need them to make a difference. So I'm excited to see. I'm happy he's looking good. Yeah, like you said, especially against Cowgirls. I mean, that is such a beautiful thing that our first game is against the Cowboys. We're gonna see these guys go off. I think AJ Brown's gonna go off. Smitty's gonna go off. I think Jahan Dotson really, like I said earlier, is making a name for himself. I think Saquon will. So I'm excited for this season. I'm excited for what AJ Brown can do.
Me too. It's going to be a fun year for him. I think that this is going to be the year that he has a peak year, that he gets the closest he ever was to that top 2, top 3, if not top 1, as PFF had him last year, wide receiver spot. Stay tuned, guys. But Nickerson also had a great pick for the Birds. Cornerback, he's looking to make a name for himself. I heard them talking about before the game that this is a guy that has been back and forth between the practice squad and getting cut and then making a name for himself. Tonight, getting a pick will do it for you. Talk about, as a preseason player, going out there and needing to make the most of an opportunity. And he definitely did that tonight. I mean, a lot of guys on this defense, I think, did that. The Eagles are still feeling out where they want to go with this cornerback depth. They have a lot of options. I mean, thinking behind Nickerson, you also got Eli Ricks, who's still out there. Jakorian Bennett, who we're going to get to in a minute. He had a great game, I thought. So they have a lot of depth now. They have a lot of options, but now is going to be where the real difficult decisions start to come, when they have to really trim this team down to about half the size that it was and figure out who's a keeper and who's not. So I'm going to say this, even with Nickerson's pick, I don't think he makes the team. If not practice squad. Just there's too much. There's too many spots to go around. And I think even though he had a great outing tonight, and you can't ignore that, it's really tough with all the Jakorian Bennett they just brought in for that you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, any big play, whether it be a fumble recovery, a pick six, tackles, making sure you read your keys well, really play a huge role in if you make the roster or not. I mean, a lot of people say, like, especially fans, they don't really care about the preseason because it doesn't really matter. We know who's going to be starting. But JJ Watt, because I was watching on CBS tonight, JJ Watt was in the booth, which was crazy to see. JJ Watt, a few players, they mentioned that this preseason means a lot to these players because this is kind of their make or break year. This is their make or break for if they're on a team or if they're in practice squad. So you got to show up, show out. And I think Nickerson, the control he had going to the ground with that pick, he bobbled it at first, then he turned his back over and pulled it in. That's a veteran move, and I think they like seeing these players do that kind of stuff. So, like I said, I don't think he's going to be on the main roster. I think he's going to make practice squad. But yeah, I mean, this is a good thing to have, a good issue to have with the cornerbacks, because we haven't really had depth at this position for quite some time. And to have, depth now is huge, because throughout the season, you play what, 5-6 months, and you go through wear and tear of your body. So having the next man up mentality really helps this team, be successful. So I really like what I saw from him. Again, I'm with you, Dalton. I don't think we'll see him on the main roster, but I think he's going to be somebody that they're going to rely on heavily if people go down on injury, especially, key players.
Yeah. Yeah. Stay tuned, Eagles fans. Going to be fun to see. Would I move Ringo to safety? Probably not, just because of how much depth they have. Not even just at safety, but in the secondary. They tried that last year with Bradbury, and it didn't go as well as I think that they wanted it to. So, I don't know. I think a lot of Eagles fans, and I'm not saying you specifically, but I think a lot of Eagles fans just want to keep Ringo because they like his story. They like that he was a Bulldog. They like that his mom is around the team, and he's a good dude. He really is. But if he's not playing up to par of where he needs to be, you just got to make the business. And he's a cornerback, man. That's what he's supposed to be. That's what he was in college. That's what he was drafted to be. So you can't ask him to change what he was. So I would say no on that, in my opinion. I don't know if he'll get cut or not. I really don't, because there's just so much to go around on this team. I think at minimum, he still has a chance to be kept on the practice squad.
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw week 1 preseason, granted, we played against the Bengals starters for the first couple drives. Dude, they get the receivers would get behind him, and he would get burnt every single time. So maybe that's a good reason for him to play safety, but I think he's not really a player that you kind of plug and play. I think, like Dalton said, he is a cornerback through and through. I don't think we get cut. I think we'll see him make the roster. But yeah, I mean, he has a lot to live up to, because he had a few good games last year. And this is kind of like we talked about it, weeks ago on 302 Birds. Like, there's a lot of make it or break it years for this is the make or break it year for a lot of these players. And he's one of them, because, he was highly taught after coming into the league, but he really hasn't lived up to his full potential. And I don't think I would love to see him on the roster and get some reps, but at the same time, we cannot have him get burnt every single time, because that's just not. I think cornerback is one of the harder positions to play. But yeah, I'm not too confident in him as of right now, but that could change.
Yeah. No, I get it. I hear you, man. I definitely hear you. It could definitely change soon, but he's got to just get his stuff together. A great question there. Will they draft a corner next draft? They always draft a corner. I think that they definitely will. At some point in the draft, they should, just because they got to figure out who's their long-term solution. Like, they had Maddox in that spot for a little bit. They're going to have a guy that's going to be there for a couple of years that's kind of a glue guy. And maybe that guy is Jakorian Bennett. 5 tackles, I think 1 pass deflected as well. As we know, when he was with the Raiders, he was electric, guys. Lights out. I'm trying to see if I can find his stats. I'll have to find him here in a minute when I let Jack go. But he's just been so good with the Raiders. And the Eagles, I think, really got him on a budget. Where they found him was such a fleece, was such a steal. And that's what Howie Roseman excels in, is finding these players that kind of are just there, and nobody's really taking advantage of them or helping them. And Howie Roseman's able to do that. So Jakorian Bennett was one of the most lockdown corners in the NFL last year, believe it or not. I forget what some of the stats are, but if you look at some of them, he's not, fifth or sixth. He's like second in the NFL for multiple stats at cornerback last year, if you look at them. And he flew under the radar for where he's at value. So it's once again, Howie Roseman, buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. And we keep all comparing this to Isaiah Rodgers, which I'm fine with, honestly, because it's buy low, sell high. He just got a bag from the Vikings. I'm not mad at the Eagles for letting him go, because even though Rodgers played very well throughout the playoffs, Rodgers still had a couple of moments in the regular season where he got burnt toast. So it happens to everybody. You know what I mean? The cornerback position, it's one of those things where it's like you can't win them all. So just do your job and make us proud overall most nights. And I think that Bennett will. I think Bennett's going to be a great player for the Eagles for a long time. And I think it's a great value pick by Howie. Great value pickup. And honestly, I'm very, very thrilled with it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm looking at his last year's stats. He had 26 total tackles, 15 solo tackles, 11 assists. He had 8 pass deflections. I don't see any picks. But yeah, I mean, he's a great player, and we expected this to happen when we got him, when we traded for him. I mean, having 5 tackles in any game is insane. I think he's going to be that quarterback number 2. I think he should be, because he's such an asset. I mean, and then his rookie year, he had 32 total tackles, 24 solo tackles, 8 assists, and 3 pass deflections. So, I mean, he has, for what it is, he has had some good stats for the 2 years he's been in the league. So yeah, I'm expecting him to show up. We've needed a player like him. We haven't really had one in quite some time, and I truly do think he'll be on that field this year. And it's always nice to see him stepping it up, because I mean, granted, you're trying to make a roster spot, and I think tonight he showed that. So I'm excited to see what he can do for us this year. And I think he fits perfectly in this defensive scheme.
Yeah, I do too. I think he's going to be a success. And like you said, I definitely think he's the cornerback 2 for now. Make sure you also like and subscribe. Those little things really help the channel out a ton. We would really appreciate it. That way you can come hang out with us after every Eagles post game. But we got a phone number that you can actually call into the show if you would like. If you want to come hang out with us, let us know. I want to just advertise that so you guys can start to call in. And if you guys want to talk about this topic with us or any other topic, feel free. We'll talk about it. But the phone number is 302-316-4848. 302-316-4848. I'm not expecting anybody to call in, but if anybody does, feel free. We'll talk some Eagles with you guys. Jack won't be able to I don't think you'll be able to hear Jack if he talks back, basically. So I might have to translate for him, is the only tech issue that we're still working out. But other than that, it should work. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for someone to call in, do you think that Marshall will make the roster? I know we talked about this a little bit briefly, but how are you feeling about it?
No, I don't think he will. Like I said, I don't think he will. I think he'll be a practice squad guy. But I think he'll definitely be a player that, we may need down the road. And I think he could be an asset to this team. So as of right now, no, he's not making the squad. But that could change. I mean, I'm not Howie Roseman. I'm not the head coach. I could be completely wrong in what I'm saying. But who knows? I mean, what other stats has he had this preseason? I don't. Let me see if there's any other stats he's had. Okay, so this is preseason. 7 receptions, 11 targets, 66 yards, 9.4 average. Or was this tonight? I don't know. but I haven't seen enough of him to make him change my mind to see, okay, he's gonna be on the squad. So that's my opinion. Take it for what it is.
Yeah, I get it. Now offensive line. Are you still on the Steen hype train at right guard? Who's your right guard that you have there right now, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think Tyler Steen, he has earned the spot. He has earned his role. He has earned his stripes. It's for what I saw. I think he's a guy that Stoutland has definitely put a lot of his efforts towards because he's been on the team now for 2 years, and I think this is his year. I don't think Green is going to be much of a help at all. Maybe he's a good backup, but yeah, I think Tyler Steen has earned it. One thing that I remember for when he started is he likes to hold a lot, and he's very jumpy. Got a lot of false starts, so we got to not do that. Because was it a regular season game last year or was it a preseason game where every drive he was either holding or false start? So I think he has kind of grown out of that. I mean, I think that was more of a holy shit, I'm in the NFL, like this is scary. But yeah, I think Tyler Steen has earned that starting spot for sure.
Yeah, I think so too, honestly. I think if you don't have Steen there, I really don't know what your other reasoning is for. I think he was debatable to earn the spot last year potentially when Big Ticket, aka Mekhi Becton, got it. Mekhi Becton obviously filled the role great. He did a great job, but he wanted to go get that bag. Respect to him. So now I think the Eagles know, okay, we got a guy with Tyler Steen that we've molded that's watched for a couple of years now. You know, this is his 4th year, I think, if not 3rd. So he's been around the block with the Eagles. Yeah, 3rd. So he knows what he's doing, and now he's earned his stripes, and he's going to go out there and dominate. But you're saying Perry Nickerson will make the team. He's the best out of all of these scrub Q or cornerbacks. Why do you think he'll dominate? Let us know. And if you want to call into the show, let us know. Feel free. We'll definitely listen to why. Cornerback 2 is definitely Bennett. I agree with that. I think that's a great take. I think that's a great take there. But somebody I also wanted to talk about was Lewis Cine, however you say. Yeah, Cine. He looks great. He had a pick tonight as well. And I think he is going to make a performance for the Eagles in the safety role. Like we keep talking about who's going to step up depth-wise for the Eagles safety-wise. I completely forgot that Howie snagged him. He's also a Georgia Bulldog, which only helps his case, so he has chemistry with this team. He played with all those guys in college, and he was a dog in college, metaphorically, literally, and on the field. So all in all, I think it's a really good thing for the Birds, and I think that this guy is going to freaking dominate for the Eagles. I think he's going to be a beast out there. Just like he's a stud. Like the way that he just has that pursuit and approach. I don't know. He's just like a hunter out there. And that's like what Brian Dawkins was. He went out there and he went to work, but you knew if he was coming for you with that pursuit, it was like a lion and a gazelle, right? Like that pursuit was like literally he would jump out at you like Wolverine. So I think I kind of see some similar qualities in him, especially when it comes to coverage, like his instinct. I really like it. And I think Brown, I'll say this. If Brown would have been a sure shot choice for the job, we would know it by now.
Yeah.
The defense would know it by now. Everybody would know it by now. So I definitely agree with that. I think that Brown has some question marks for the Eagles still, and still some things that he needs to figure out before the Eagles are fully comfortable with putting him out there, giving him a chance to make mistakes, because it's not an easy league. He's going to make mistakes, but he's also going to make plays. He had that beautiful pick 6 of the game we were both at against the Cardinals a couple years ago. So I don't think Brown's a bad player. I just think maybe he's more of a loose cannon, like you said. Maybe he's more ball hawk happy. What are your thoughts on that, Jack?
I think he can. I mean, I respect it, but he can kind of be a hothead. Did he get ejected from that one game last year or 2 years ago? But also he's been very injury prone, and that's not good. that's tough to recover from. All the injuries he's had. I think week 1, I don't know, because I do like Sidney Brown a lot. He has some potential, but I just am not sold on him yet. I think Cine or Cine or however you pronounce it has a better chance to get it started roll. But I mean, it's nice to have options at this position. And like I said, this is one of the few years we've had depth at this position who we can rely on. So yeah, I mean, I think he could be he can be an asset, but at the same time can also be a liability. So I'm not sold on him yet. Like I said, this is just my opinion. So we'll see what happens with Sidney Brown.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens because I know obviously our boy Dennis is going to be all for the Eagles getting Sidney Brown out there. And Makuba, I think, even though you're right, like he is a little bit injury prone because he's tinier, I think he might pan out like Devontae Smith. So I would say give him time. He's tough. He has good instincts. That showed last week with his pick 6. Oh my God, he has great instincts. So when he's playing well, I think not only can he be a difference maker for the Eagles and make turnovers, which was big tonight for the Birds, but he can also, I think, make plays. Like he's out there that he can really return it. Like he gives you that threat of, hey, I'm going to house this shit. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. When you talk about this week compared to last week, especially for the Eagles comparing the whole game, it was a night and day difference as a whole. Last week, just looking at it, the Eagles only had 88 total yards of offense. This year they had 199. Or I'm sorry, this week they had 199. So a lot more. Rushing yards, 79. That's pretty much as many total yards of offense that they had last week, this week. So I thought that the Eagles did a better job of moving the ball this game, but then defensively they let up 309 yards. It's not going to do it. But they did win the turnover battle. They had 3 turnovers, which I thought was good. So if the Eagles can continue that turnover and finding ways to get the football in their hands, whether it be the other team making mistakes or whether it be the Eagles being efficient, I'm all for it, man. Keep it up. But I think that's pretty much all we got. Keep this number. Save it in your guys' phone. 302-316-4848. If you guys want to call into the show, you definitely can, especially when these games are a little bit earlier. I know the Thursday night game will be a ton of fun seeing what we do with that, but you guys will be able to call in, share your thoughts post-game, let us know how you feel. It'll be a ton of fun to get to know you guys, get to know us, talk some Eagles. So call this number if you want to talk Eagles with us, and we'll cut it up with you guys. It's a lot of fun. We love what we do. We love doing the post-game show. And we love our sponsor as well, which just gives me a second to shout out Balboa Steaks. If you guys haven't, check out Balboa Steaks in Delaware. They are the king of Delaware steaks, the best place to get your cheesesteaks. Oh my God, they're so good. Tonight I got mine, Cooper Sharp, regular cheese, meat, cheesesteak, everything. It was good. 10 out of 10. KJ McCoy got the same thing, except he gets with fried onions, he said. So he enjoyed it. He really liked it. If you guys haven't, you got to check out Balboa Steaks in Newark, Delaware. One last time, save the number in your phone, 302-316-4848. I appreciate all you guys joining. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. It was really awesome getting to know all you guys. And we will see you guys next week for the next week. Well, 2 weeks from now, I should say, September 4th for the Philadelphia Eagles home opener, banner night against the Dallas Cowboys. Get ready for it. Very exciting. Jack, I know you're excited, right?
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. This is, I mean, we have an NCAA football this weekend as well. So just the spirit right now. Football's back, baby. Can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm so pumped. And I look forward to us dominating the Cowboys banner night. So, guys, love you guys. Appreciate you guys being on tonight. We'll be back in 2 weeks for post-game shows. But without further ado, hey, Josh, it's an outro, not an intro. Hit that motherfucking outro.